Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the new Marvel Vintage series, The Punisher. This is essentially the same as the Marvel Legends line, except it has this kind of cool throwback artwork for the cards themselves. This is based on the old Toy Biz design for the blue and gray, I guess, card backs, if you want to look at it like that. So it's essentially they're re-releasing a few of these older figures that some of us may not have got a chance to pick up, which is the case with the Punisher here. But on this new art, new card back style that kind of is that throwback to the old style. So as you can see, it comes on this really nice looking card art. It does definitely kind of evoke that original vintage kind of feel. I actually had this original Punisher figure from the actual Toy Biz line. It had this really weird, what was it? It was, the one I had actually had like a cap gun action on it. So it had a little mechanism on the back that you kind of pulled a lever and it kind of let it go and it popped caps. And it was actually pretty interesting. It was a terrible figure, but at the time, pretty revolutionary. Kind of a throwback to some of those old like RoboCop figures from back in the 80s. So here's the front. I'll flip it over to the back. You can see some of the other figures in the wave. There's Captain America, Black Widow, Wolverine, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Punisher. So it's an interesting concept. I actually did not have this particular Punisher release. I was not really paying attention to the Legends line at the time when this thing came out, so I kind of missed this figure. So I do like the fact that they're kind of re-releasing these things and giving us a chance to kind of get back at them. Beyond that, some of the other figures in the wave, probably not going to bother with them, but it's kind of an interesting kind of throwback. So anyways, let's go ahead and just take a look at the figure here now that we've kind of got all the ins and outs of the actual release itself dealt with. Go ahead and just slice the bubble off of this thing. If you actually are picking up some of these lines, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. I'm probably not going to do much with the actual vintage line itself. I really just got it because it was the Punisher. And to be honest with you, the kind of card art here is a little bland for me. So, not really that interesting, but anyways. So we have this cool accessory here, this big rocket launcher. We have the Punisher figure. And an alternate head, which I do kind of like. So that's the figure. Again, we don't really get a whole lot of accessories in this particular, the Marvel Legends line at all. So this one, again, it's a re-release of the original Marvel Legends Punisher, which I think came with a few other accessories. I think he had a machine gun as well. So yeah, it is what it is, but we do get a pretty interesting looking rocket launcher here. I think this is the same one that they packaged with the Deadpool figure, just a repainted version of that. And it does look good. It's got some really nice details, nice kind of gunmetal gray going on in these black highlights. So pretty interesting. Will fit in his hand pretty easily. It's got kind of a really big handle on it, so you do kind of have to move his hands around a little bit to get it to actually fit in there. Let's see if we can actually get this to work. They're a little stiff. Work on it a little bit and they kind of bend out of the way enough to get your hand in here. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. It's starting to go. There. So he can kind of grip it, and then it kind of sits on his arm like so. Pretty interesting, but nothing too amazing going on there. So, moving on, we have the actual figure itself. Again, it's a nice looking sculpt. Not a whole lot of details on it, just enough. I mean, it is the Punisher, so his costume itself kind of speaks for itself. It's very much this black and white. So, yeah, some interesting details on the actual pouches, on his belt. Nice Punisher skull logo there. You can kind of move his belt around if it's not quite lined up there, so that works really well. The back is pretty sparsely detailed. Some nice sculpture going on here as far as the muscles and everything like that, so it does work really well. The head sculpt, it's kind of hit and miss here, so let's take a little, see if I can get the light here. Pretty interesting. I don't really like the way that the little strands of hair fall down, but beyond that, the head sculpt looks pretty well. It works, definitely. I mean, it's Frank Castle. The alternate head has got that kind of Rambo look to it, and I do like that one a little bit better. But anyways, that is the actual figure itself. Articulation-wise, the head does spin 360 degrees. We definitely have the full range of motion. He can look all the way up, all the way down. Got slight head tilt, quite a bit going to the right, not quite as much to the left, but it's there. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints. There we go. Ball and swivel. Standard swivel at the upper bicep. We do have a double elbow joint there. And you've got no swivel at the wrist, or at the gloves, but you do have the swivel and the cool rockery thing there at the wrist itself, so plenty of range of motion there. Very nice. We do have the standard ab crunch feature. Go all the way back, all the way forward, so that works pretty well there. His belt does not really get in the way at all. He does have the waist twist as well. And again, the belt is kind of loose on there, so you may have to kind of move it around to get it where you want it. And it can go up and down to suit your needs. Standard plastic T-hooks at the waist and hips. So pretty good range of motion there. Do have the extra swivel joint there at the top of the thigh. We got the double knee joint there going on. Very cool. And at the ankle, we've got that kind of weird swivelly rocker thing there going on. Ooh, and there's actually a twist there at the mid-calf point, so that's nice. But beyond that, weird rockery thing that's always kind of weird, but it works really well to get plenty of articulation going on. So all in all, very nice looking. It's a really good figure. You really can't screw up the Punisher too easily, so it's really nice that they didn't. So if you were not able to pick this thing up before, you definitely want to pick this one up. This thing retails for around 10 or 12 bucks, I think, right now, so definitely a good purchase. The alternate head, as we mentioned, has that cool bandana and has a slightly different head sculpt on it. He does have the nice shading on his jaw for his stubble, which is a nice little highlight there, and it works really well. Looks a little dark here because my light isn't following us, but there we go. Pretty cool. As far as how you swap these things out, you actually just need to grab onto his head and just yank really hard. And this one actually popped off pretty easily. Then you just kind of stub that one back on top there, and you're good to go. So there you go with the alternate head there. And I do think I like this one a little bit better. The bandana is a little bit weird, but I do like the facial sculpt better on this guy. So yeah, that's kind of the what you get out of this set. Again, not a lot of accessories. We do get the 2 head sculpts, so it does work for what it is. For the price point, yeah, I definitely recommend it. it's a cool Punisher figure. Again, it's the Punisher. It's the classic Punisher here, so that's really cool. The movie, Netflix TV series version is also out. I haven't picked that one up yet, so that's kind of why I got this classic one here. I've always liked the comic version of the Punisher. I would really love to see a Dolph Lundgren version of the... I love that movie, but that's beyond the point. We're not going to get to that, but see, anyways, very cool looking figure. If you haven't picked it up already, definitely go check it out if you can get a hold of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Not a whole lot really to go about. So there you are, Punisher. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. Drop some comments down below. Let us know what you think of this vintage Punisher release. If you'd like to see anything looked at in future episodes, leave me a comment down below as well, and I'll try to get to it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like us and share us and do what and all makes you happy. So, till next time, booyakasha! This is actually called the retro line, not the vintage line. So if you're looking for them, retro line, Marvel Legends Retro.